All right, good morning. Welcome to another Ageless Energy Show. I'm excited to jump in and talk about the health benefits of creatine. And this is no longer just for gym bros or bodybuilders in particular. I'm going to bring on some experts or more share some experts clips about the health benefits of creatine. Hopefully you'll find out quickly that this is great for women in particular, and certainly not just for bodybuilders. If you're not sure who I am, my name is Drew Tadia, founder and CEO of True Form Life. For the past 20 years, we've been helping women 40 plus increase energy, burn body fat, and balance hormones. So if that's you, you are in the right place. We're going to dive in here in just a moment. We are recording live right now. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them below and I'll answer live. If you're watching the replay, I'll answer your questions after. We got Tracy's in here, Suzanne, Nicole, and a couple others I can't see, but good morning to you. It's always nice when friendly faces pop in and say hi. So where can I start with creatine? Creatine in particular it's a product that I've used personally for a long time, and I think it's been in the sports industry forever. It's one of those supplements where you just take. It's kind of like, I feel like it's a bit like the supplement world and multivitamins. Everyone's like, oh, I should take a multivitamin. And like, I feel like in most cases, that's a false statement. But people just don't know. They're just like, I don't know where that came from. Like a doctor said you need a multivitamin. And I'm not here to say, actually, I'm saying you shouldn't have a multivitamin. You should have a better, most multivitamins aren't good quality and most don't have enough of the vitamin to make a difference. I don't know, it's like a Centrum thing. There's like Centrum and Flintstone Kids, that kind of thing. Like you read the ingredients and I'm like, how could that be a health product? Like it just doesn't add up. It's all based around marketing. So at any rate, I was just comparing creatine. Like when we were growing up in the athletic world, everyone just took creatine, just what you did. And because everyone was doing it, it just made sense. I mean, it made sense to those that want to follow along with everyone else. But for us, there was clear benefits. Now that's transitioning, I suppose. There's more research. Like creatine is safe. It's one of the safest supplements that you can take. I haven't read any adverse effects, and maybe too much long term, but that's with anything. Like for example, I haven't really read. Someone asked me recently about collagen. Like, can you take too much collagen, or is gallstones linked to collagen? It's very rare, and that's usually from those that aren't hydrated or dehydrated. So it's a pretty simple answer. It's a natural. Like if you take a good quality natural collagen, you don't need to do anything other than make sure you're drinking water. And that's not to like, that like scares people, right? They're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to have gallstones, so I'm not going to take collagen. It's first of all, it's very rare, and then just drink water. Like you should be drinking water anyways. I would suggest when it comes to hydration that you're drinking close to 3 liters, minimum of 2 liters a day. You should aim for 3. And if you can drink more, that's great. And I would say it's very hard and it complicates things because you're going to the bathroom all day. So when people are saying I'm drinking 4 liters, like maybe that's more for directed to like a detox. But if you're drinking 4 liters every day on a regular basis, your bladder does adapt and it does change a bit. But I think people drink a little bit too much water. They may drink 2 or 3 liters, and they're used to drinking 500 milliliter, which is just one of those tiny bottles. And they're like, oh, I can't do that. I'm peeing all day. I've actually heard people that would say to me, oh, I can't drink too much water because I pee all day. That's not really that much of an inconvenience to be hydrated and have your body working optimally. But when it comes back to creatine in particular, there's more benefits. There's more and more health benefits coming out. And here's the thing with natural supplements is they don't have the financial backing that pharmaceuticals does. Because pharmaceuticals, like they can put a patent on it, no one else can sell it. And of course that's subsidized by the government, etc. We're still paying for it in a roundabout way. But you don't see most natural supplements, you don't see them advertised on TV because it costs a lot of money to advertise on TV. And you look at a pharmaceutical and that can be advertised because they have so much financial backing. So that's kind of how it works for your mainstream media. That's becoming less and less of a factor when it comes to information. And that's just because the world is changing a bit. Of course, there's less trust, but there's younger generations more on social media than watching TV. So you're getting information from different sources, which is great, because you would have to be paid. Like, for example, I've been on the news a number of times with my books that I've written, but the news won't let me on there with products that I've created, because the only way they'll let products on is if you're paying for ads on their commercials. So for example, if I took my collagen and I was like, hey, I would like to talk about the health benefits of collagen and maybe could get some more customers, say no, because they may have a competitor that's in skincare of some way paying for ads. They're not going to bring someone on for free. Maybe it's a little bit too in depth for some of you, but that's just how it works. That's why people don't know what's going on. Like, for example, when you think of creatine, a lot of people are like, oh, it's for bodybuilders. It's not. There's a lot of great information coming out. And I'm going to mention Tim Ferriss and Mel Robbins in particular, who have huge platforms separate from media, who's sharing great information about the health benefits of creatine. So now we have more awareness. We have more ability for the proper research. Like, creatine is one of the longest researched supplements. So we know, like, we have these clear facts and we have documentation, and you have your split tests, and they do the same thing with pharmaceuticals. Like, you need volunteers, and they take a sugar pill, and then they take the pharmaceutical and they put them through a test and they see the benefits, like which one is interesting is that it's called the placebo effect. And that placebo effect, often if you're taking a pill, could be like a sugar pill, or there could be nothing in it, like a filler or a powder. A lot of times people with the placebo effect feel like they're getting the benefits. Of course, like in these particular studies, you can't tell them what benefits you're supposed to expect. They're just measuring your vitals and whatever else. But it's interesting when it comes to supplements in particular. So when it comes to the creatine in particular, you can take it at different times. I just had this conversation with someone and I said, I was like, how's your creatine going? And they're like, it's going okay, but I haven't taken it too much. I take it before a workout and that's it. And I said, why don't you take it every day? And they're like, oh, well, I thought I'm just supposed to take it before a workout. And I said, no, we have natural creatine levels in our body. Women have less than men naturally, which is why this is a great supplement for women in particular. You have stores in your body, right? So the more you fill those stores up with natural supplements, this is an easy one with magnesium, because the more we fill our stores with magnesium, the better our body performs optimally, let's say. So if you're inconsistent with your magnesium, and I see this all the time because we have a really good selling magnesium supplement and it shows incredible results, but sometimes people don't take it consistently. So their results vary. Like, oh, I had a good night's sleep this night. I didn't. Well, that night I had a little bit of pain this night. And I'm like, well, what's going on with your supplements? Why don't we talk about those? And they'll just tell me, I haven't been consistent. Some days I take it, some days I don't. And I say, okay, well, we know that there's clear benefits when you do take it. So we just have to find a way for you to take it on a regular basis. So if you're looking at creatine in particular, instead of taking it sporadically or once in a while, I would suggest taking it all the time. Because now, I wouldn't expect you to take creatine all the time for the rest of your life. And I can get into supplement cycling in the future, but for now, it's very rare when someone takes too much of a natural supplement for too long a time. Usually it's inconsistent. Like, they'll finish half their container and then forget, or go on vacation, get out of routine. So you can subscribe to our products so you can get them recurring and show up at your door, and you don't have to forget and miss out on your routine and then have to start all over again. So it's very rare when someone takes a supplement for too long of a time and even too much. So we can push that aside. When it comes to taking your supplements on a regular basis, like, I would suggest daily. Like, most of the supplements, can't think of anything right now, but if you take your supplements every day, you develop more of a routine, and that routine will give you better benefits from your supplements. I would suggest, if you're buying supplements and you're not taking them, obviously a waste of money. And it's a little bit mind-boggling how many times people will either post or talk about, or you'll go to a friend's or family's house and you'll see like a whole cupboard full of supplements. They're old. They have one supplement, like one protein container, and that's really old, and they'll have another one next to it. That needs to be continually cycled and got rid of it. Now, I'm not a huge fan of array of supplementation. I feel like food first. We always believe in food. Food heals, cures, prevents. We should be having food as number one. We supplement our diet. We supplement our lifestyle with more supplementation. I don't subscribe to the idea that you don't need to eat or you don't need to exercise. You just take supplements. Supplements are supposed to act in aid or in help. And to me, it's almost like a life hack. It's like a nutrition hack. You can get the extract of the best part of something. You can grab something like magnesium is an easy one. Like magnesium, you're not going to get from, we used to get from soil, which then went to the food and then went to our bodies. Soil depletion now. We don't have quality nutrients anymore. So even if you're eating a clean diet, you're not getting enough magnesium if you're not supplementing with that. You can actually improve your health by taking this magnesium, which is no longer in the food. To me, it's a no-brainer. I understand a lot of times people don't know which to take, how much to take, when to take, how to read ingredients. That's why I'm here. That's why we based our business, our supplement business. So moving back to taking creatine regularly as part of your routine. I have some really nice videos that I put out more recently, or I don't know if we've released all of them yet, but I explained to you the different stacks. And all a stack is how you pair your supplements together. And that's a great way to help you not forget to take your supplements on a regular basis. So for example, if you take your 25 grams of vanilla protein, which is what we have, 25 grams of protein, and then let's say you have your collagen, 11 grams of protein, that's 36 grams of protein just to start out your day. So you have 2 scoops, you put that in a shaker, when you shake it with milk or water, and you're good to go. That's a great way to start your day. To level up, you put a scoop of creatine in there. And now we move on to a different set of health benefits that can help improve your health, that can level up your health and improve in different ways. Starting out your routine, I do this the night before, but if you want to wake up in the morning and you make a shake and then you take it first thing every single morning, then you don't think about it. It's not like, oh, I have to make it, or I forgot to take it, or it's the weekend. Every single evening as part of our routine, it doesn't matter if it's the weekend or the weekday or if we're on vacation, whatever it looks like, is I make our shakes the night before and then I put them in the fridge. And as soon as first thing I do when I wake up is I put them on the counter because I don't like them. I kind of like things really cold. First of all, that's not great for our body. And it also doesn't, my voice doesn't, or my throat doesn't enjoy that very much. So that's part of our routine that we do every single evening. And I also think if you put it in the fridge, it helps the powders dissolve a little bit. So it's not like if you scoop your powders into a shaker cup. I'm not talking about a smoothie. You could put all this stuff into a blender and blend it. That's a smoothie. I'm talking about a shake. We have a shaker cup with a little shaker ball, which is also something that you need. It will help break up the powder balls, and then you shake it up. That you might have a few chunks if you do it that morning, or make it and mix it right away. But if you make it the night before and you shake it up, there's no clumps, which is what I've experienced anyways. So make that part of your routine as an everyday thing. Now you can take when to take your creatine. I would suggest first thing in the morning because of the brain health benefits from mood, memory, mental clarity, even depression, which I'll talk about here in a second. Those are the benefits that you could gain first thing in the morning to help improve the rest of your day. That's number one. You could also take just a scoop, so the powder doesn't taste, it doesn't smell. You put a scoop in water, mix it up, and you can take that. You can do that before a workout. You can take that on its own, so it's not with let's say, for example, you're not taking shakes, you're not taking protein powder or collagen. If you want to take a scoop of creatine and put in your water and shake it up, you can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. I usually work out in the morning. I have my shake first thing, then I do my workout, and then I have breakfast. I usually have another scoop of creatine after my workout. It's not completely necessary, depending on your goals and how often you're working out, the benefits you're looking for. The recommended daily allowance is 5 grams, which is 1 scoop from our container. I take close to usually 10. So 5 grams before, 5 grams after. But again, that's up to you. Usually 5 grams is enough to get the benefits that you're hoping for. Different from a multivitamin where it's like so little amount. It's not going to change much for you. It's not going to be so beneficial. Morning, Cheryl. So, okay. I wanted to pull up here. I did a full presentation on brain fog. If you missed that, just comment below. Just say brain fog and we'll send you the whole recording. This is when I talked about different areas of brain fog, how to get rid of that fogginess, why it's so apparent, especially women 40 plus. This is something I want to mention before I forget, is because I want women, this is one of my missions, I want women 40 plus to move away from the weight loss phase. Because most of their life, it's all been weight loss. And we get women into our program, and many are still focused on weight loss, which is great. Like, if you could exchange a little bit of coaching here for you, if you could exchange that thought of weight loss to strength, you would be so much stronger in many different ways. Mentally stronger, emotionally stronger, physically stronger. And that's really what we're after. Like, we want to be stronger, more resilient beings. Like, you want to have a stronger immune system, right? You want to be stronger. Like, you're looking at collagen and exercise. That's going to help prevent injuries from your ligaments, tendons, joints. So if we could exchange, nearly impossible to do, to move or transition the frame of mind from weight loss to strength for women, we would change the entire industry, which would be incredible. But creatine can help with that. So as we age, especially like from 30 on, you lose muscle mass at a rapid rate. So what we need to do is resistance training exercise. We need to have a higher protein diet, or at least have a balance of macros and include protein. Women in particular have a very low protein content. They have mostly carbs and fats. We need to have a different mindset. I want to help with that. And I am passionate about it. But when it comes to women, like the osteoporosis, early onset osteoporosis, arthritis, that's your joints, of course, right? Arthritis is your bones. Like, these are disintegrating, and we have to do things to prevent that. So higher protein diet looks like more collagen, more supplementation with a shake protein, for example. You're looking at a creatine. So a creatine not only is the brain health, but it also helps build muscle. And because women are losing muscle at such a rapid rate, you can use creatine as a hack, as a benefit, as a easier way to get there. When I say hack, I'm talking about like it's a short term. Like, a creatine can help you build muscle quicker in a shorter amount of time. And when I'm talking about muscle, I'm not talking about a big bodybuilder's muscle. Like, it's very hard to do that. I was involved in that world for years, and I can't tell you how much time and effort it takes to grow big, bulky muscles. You have to have a specific eating program for that, a specific workout program for that. And then you have to be in it for the long haul. It takes 10 to 20 years to build the frames that you guys see on TV as bodybuilders. And probably, in most cases, some extra testosterone to help out with that. When you're working out at the gym, you're not going to get bulky muscles. You're going to get lean muscles. And especially if you're working out properly, which is why we do what we do and design workout programs for our ladies that come to us. But you're looking at lean, strong muscles. Like, maybe this is a bit outdated, but they used to say Kelly Ripa, her arms. Does anyone remember that? You comment. Let me know in the comments if you do. Or who is it? Like Monica from Friends. Back in the day, people say, I used to say, I want to have arms like Monica. Or they'd say, I don't want to have arms like Monica if they don't want to have feet. But they would seem too muscular. But I do think things are changing a little bit, and there's more understanding that just because you're working out, I don't hear it very often anymore, but I used to hear it in the gym quite often. Women would come to me and they'd say, I want to work out, but I don't want to get big and bulky. And I'm like, that's pretty hard to do. How about we get you on a program and get you exercising first, and then we'll worry about what benefits you don't want. So that's my mission of helping women understand to be strength, replacing weight loss to strength, getting stronger, holding planks longer, being more interested in their definition than the scale. And don't get me wrong, we celebrate the scale with our members too. All I'm trying to do is explain to you, like, the scale isn't the end all be all. Like, there's other benefits that you could gain from exercising and from working out. And I hope you find them, because we have some of our ladies watching right now that have seen fantastic results. So this was Mel Robbins, and she had a very interesting interview that went viral. Like, she has a huge audience. And this is some of the things that she said is, creatine is known for muscle, but it's amazing for the brain. Supports working memory, mental clarity, and processing speed. So just think about that for example. Like, many times as we age, we forget names, we forget where we put our keys. I don't think that we used to remember phone numbers. We don't remember phone numbers anymore. And I think the less we use our brain, the less we're going to be able to. But this in particular is, you have a supplement that can help with all this. Makes sense to take it, in my opinion. So this was I just pulled these out from the interview. So Mel says creatine is a game changer for women, especially in premenopause and menopause. It boosts brain health, helping with focus, and I already mentioned memory and clarity. Your surgery, good for you. Improves strength and energy, supports lean muscle, and reducing fatigue. So what they mean by fatigue is you can do more reps longer. So for example, if you're doing push-ups, there's an ATP buildup, and you can also look at lactic acid. So lactic acid in particular is the burning sensation when you're doing an exercise. Creatine delays that burning sensation, so you can put more effort in, so you can be stronger for a longer period of time. So this was interesting. When we were, like, as a professional baseball player, I mentioned this before, we would take creatine. So those of us that played in the position in the field and we would bat, we would want bigger, stronger muscles. So we would take creatine, and pitchers were taking creatine. And I'm like, oh, that's odd. Why would a pitcher? Because they don't hit. They need to be long, flexible. They weren't really bulky. Back then, they're looking a little bit different now these days, but they would taking creatine. And then when we were first learning about it was like an odd concept. Like, why is that happening? But because they would build up lactic acid in their legs first before their arms. So their legs would actually give out. So they wanted creatine to help them be able to push off the mound for a longer period of time before their legs would have that burning sensation too much where they would start to give out. And then they would be able to throw for longer and harder because they had a supplement like a creatine. So I should say this, creatines should be clean, like a white powder. Many times I was just thinking about kids in particular, because there might be some parents or family members that could share this with kids. And you're more than welcome to, or younger athletes. But nowadays they have so much junk in supplements. But you look at pre-workouts or creatines in particular, they put all kinds of junk in there to flavor it and to make it taste better. In most cases, those aren't great options. So your creatine should be a clean white powder without sugars, sucralose, colorings, flavorings. Like, you should try to avoid all that. Women naturally have lower creatine levels, making supplementation more impactful. So because you naturally produce less creatine, you'll see a better benefit than men that have more of a natural creatine. Hopefully that's clear enough. So it's safe and effective, and it's not just for athletes. Mel says it's one of the best things women can take daily. Hopefully that source is helpful for you. Now, I'm a big fan of Tim Ferriss. I followed him for years. His first business book I read was 4-Hour Workweek. He moved on to other books. He has 4-Hour Body, which was one of my favorite books. It's a huge, thick book, like a Bible. I pick it up randomly and just read through chapters just to see what I've forgotten or what I haven't read or what I've missed. Biohacker, everything he does is around documented research. He's done all kinds of experimentations on his own body. And I pulled this out for you guys. So he says it supports brain function by replenishing ATP in the brain cells. It can help with mental fatigue, focus, and clarity. Any research that you look at is going to offer brain health benefits of creatine in particular. So again, taking it on a regular basis, I feel like it's such a great idea for everyone. Certainly not just athletes. Men should be taking it too, just as a wellness supplement, not as a pre-workout supplement as it used to be known for. This says I may reduce risk of neurological disease like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and Huntington's by protecting brain cells and improving mitochondrial function. Super interesting, at least for me on the nerdy side. It's been used in clinical studies for traumatic brain injury and depression. Pretty cool, right? He just says, I emphasizes creatine is one of the most studied and safest supplements on the market. And then this is kind of what I said. He warns against fancy new forms. So stick to a regular creatine monohydrate. It's not super expensive. We have it on our website, trueformlife.com. One single ingredient, pure white, dissolves, no taste, no flavor. You're good to go. That's it. I'm going to wrap things up here. If you guys want that masterclass, comment below and we'll send it over. Otherwise, you can find our products and supplements on trueformlife.com. And we also have a Brain Fuel bundle, which has creatine, MCT oil, and Magtin, which could be of benefit for those in particular that want to improve their brain function. So hopefully that was helpful. Mars says, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. What was the name of that book again, Drew? Oh, it's called The 4-Hour Body. 4-Hour Body, yeah. That's not just about creatine or not just about brain health. It's like it's a huge book like this thick, and it has tons of different health benefits, or they're all hacks, right? From sleep to, it's an older book, but I think the book's like the book's probably 20 years old. But I found the one I found it at the thrift store for 99 cents. Like, what are we doing here? And she's like, oh, it's 99 cents. And I was like, okay. So it bothers me a little bit as an author that books have such little value. Like, books change your life every single day. At least they have for me. And like the amount of books that are tossed or put in those little book things that no one reads, or they are. Anyways, I won't rant about books. I'm out of here. You're welcome, Cheryl. You're welcome, Tracy. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll catch up with you soon. Bye, everyone.